back after losses on day number 2. Hampton's win over Mount St. Mary's coming on the opening night, where they defeated the Mount 75-67 before losing to Old Dominion yesterday by a count of 75-38. Richmond controlling the opening possession, attacking from right to left. For those of you watching us here on CUSA TV, happy holidays to you and yours. Kate Klimkowitz, the Boston College transfer, a little short from 3 right wing. And away with it off the board, Nyla Young gets it ahead to Lauren Van Arsdale. 5 points against Old Dominion yesterday. That after 10, along with 6 assists and 3 steals in the win over Mount St. Mary's for Van Arsdale. Ashley Bates, watch out for her ability to score off the dribble, but she's unable to time it despite the contact in front of her 6 feet out. Here's Jade Hines-Clark. She's had a hard time getting going, but one player who was hot yesterday just missed the 3 right wing. That's Claire Holtz. She had 17, one shy of her career best at Richmond. Spiders lost 73-51 to Old Dominion, and 75-67 they fell against Mount St. Mary's yesterday. Wrapping it around a couple of times before it finally cradles through the twines. Ashley Bates putting Hampton on the board first. Here's Alex Parson through Hines-Clark into Klimkowitz in the corner. Nice bounce pass out to Holt. Good ball movement here from Richmond on the possession. Chapman a little lacking in the mustard there with the body pressure in front of her from Jenkins. Now with a double team, ripping it out of her hands is Young with the help defense, but not before a tie-up at 8:16 in the opening quarter. And the arrow will give it to Hampton the other way. Full court pressure being employed here from Richmond in the early going. Michaela Timmons, the transfer from Old Dominion, in her graduate year out of Columbia, Tennessee. Played 3 years here at ODU. Back on her old home floor one more time. Timmons, a rough day at the yard against her former team yesterday, fouling out fairly early in the second half as she misses the 3 from the left wing. Van Arsdale unable to save it on the opposite side, and it's out of bounds to Richmond. Opening quarter in our final game of 6 in this 3-day event, hosted by Nikki McCrae's Old Dominion Monarchs, who improved to 10-2 heading into Conference USA play. As Holt misfiring too strong from 3, it'll be Hampton basketball out of bounds. And again, back to the press come the Spiders. Coached by Aaron Roussel, came to them from Bucknell, a successful job he did at his time there. Part of the Patriot League. As the tie-up will give it back to Richmond out of bounds. Charlisa Jenkins being denied an opportunity at a shot there as Elena Chapman ties her up. She's had a good tournament here for Richmond. 13 points. A new career high, along with the career high tying 9 rebounds yesterday against Mount. Meanwhile, off the miss from Hines-Clark, it'll be out of bounds on the left corner to the Spiders. Man-to-man defense right now from Hampton. Klimkowitz trying to force it into Hines-Clark, running out of time, and it's tapped out of play by Young. Now Holt will handle the inbound. Into Hines-Clark, skipping it across. Klimkowitz for 3, too strong. Chapman had her hands on it, had it tapped away not once but twice as Bates comes away with the steal. Van Arsdale turning the corner on Holt, had slapped down to the floor hard. Hopefully Van Arsdale didn't hit her head against the back of the, or against the wood there. Looks like she just avoided, but a little bit of whiplash there for Van Arsdale, falling hard to the floor. She stays on as Timmons will lob it up to her for a new opportunity. Van Arsdale now met again physically by Hines-Clark, who commits the foul this go-around. That'll be the first foul of the game on either side. Lady Pirates 3-5. They've dropped 5 of their last 6 after a 2-0 start that featured a buzzer beater by the player with the ball in her hands right now, Michaela Timmons. Did so at Alabama in their opening game. Here's Van Arsdale, 6 on the shot. Up top, Timmons for 3. Well short, and time will expire on the shot clock as it'll also go out of bounds to the Richmond Spiders, who are 6-6. They've dropped 3 in a row in 4 out of 5. Still looking for their first win of the Ann Donovan Classic before heading back up 64 to just outside of the west side of Richmond. Chapman fouled from behind, and she'll shoot a couple of free throws. Looks like that's going to be Jenkins picking up her first. I'm sorry. No, it's actually not going to be Jenkins. It's going to be the help defense from Nyla Young. My mistake. Chapman, as mentioned earlier, productive week here in Norfolk. 9 points a game in this tournament. Her season average up to now just shy of 6 a contest. Previous 3 games she had averaged a little over 5 points and 6 rebounds a game. So she's been on the rise here for Richmond as she goes 2 for 2 this first trip to the line to tie it at 2 and put Richmond on the board. Just about 4 minutes in here in Norfolk. A little less than 10 miles away from Hampton University. Right across the James River from here. Timmons along the baseline, blocked by Klimkowitz, and she gets the board. Carson avoiding the swipe from Timmons on the other end. Chapman trying the high-low feed here for Clark, Hines Clark that is, and it's tapped out of play. Last touch by Hampton. Tripling up Hines Clark, who came in averaging 10 points and a team-leading 5.4 boards a game. More of a focal point of this offense, but has been held in check the first 2 days by Mount St. Mary's and Old Dominion. Richmond with the ball again down low, 12 on the shot, as Chapman lost it out of bounds on the strip. Into Parson, right wing. Dribbles to the foul line, over to Holt. Now Klimkowitz fakes the drive. 5 on the shot. Outside to Parson for 3. And the rebound controlled by Jenkins of Hampton. Van Arsdale fakes the pull-up with Parson in front of her. Here's a player who's also given some solid minutes here for Hampton. Leila Chakolis avoiding the steal. Off the glass a little too strong there from Chakolis. Makes the pressure there from Parson. Richmond the other way. Klimkowitz pulling up with a jumper. Off the mark. And Jenkins will be fouled from behind. That's another one on Hines Clark, who will go into this first time out on the floor, already in foul trouble with their second. 4:50 to go, opening quarter.
Price of some sideline season.
Donovan Classic, 4:50 to go in our opening quarter. And the Lady Pirates in white will get it in with Timmons to Van Arsdale. 1-2-2 zone press being employed right now by Hampton in dark blue. Lady Pirates, who can also step up the pressure from time to time under David Six. Able to navigate no problem as Timmons able to locate Bates through the zone, and she's unable to connect from close range. Carson the other way. Up top, Klimkowitz for 3, head on. Little too strong, and Timmons away with the board for Hampton. Lobbing it ahead, it's Van Arsdale on the receiving end for the bucket. For 2, Hampton. Nice dish there from Timmons. Now Chapman with the shuffling of the feet, travels with it as she was taking on Jenkins to the basket. That's the first turnover thus far on Hampton. 3 for Richmond, as all 4 teams playing this week have struggled with the turnover counts getting high, and really a lot of the games, if not all of them. Van Arsdale in open space, gets it to Bates. Now Bates, nice sidestep, back to Van Arsdale. Right hand floater by Van Arsdale is good, and we're tied, or check that, 6-2 now. Lady Pirates with a 4-point lead. Klimkowitz, as Van Arsdale already with 4 for Hampton. Off the window and through. Amy Duggan also has made her presence felt this week in Norfolk. Averaged 11 a game in her last 2, including a career-high 14 points and career-high 3 assists. That tied it in the loss to Mount St. Mary's last night. Kickball will keep the shot clock at 20 with 3:11 to play in the quarter. And Timmons will get it back in from the baseline for the Lady Pirates. Young's going to come back on for Chicolis to join Jenkins, Bates, Van Arsdale, and as mentioned earlier, Timmons to lob it up top to Van Arsdale. Young pulling up from the elbow. Just off the mark. Rebound, and losing a handle of it there was Jenkins, but no up and down. And off the deflection from Klimkowitz down low, it'll be Hampton ball with 19 on the shot. Back to the drawing board come the Lady Pirates in white. Nice screen set by Jenkins to free up Van Arsdale, but she runs out of options against the zone. Here's Young with a long pull-up jumper. Good! That ends a drought there for the Spiders, with their back within 2 in a low-scoring game. Holt trying to circle around Jenkins, unable to connect with the pass intended for Chapman down the lane. And here come the Lady Pirates off the interception. Eight for Hampton. Bates running into Chapman, takes it out of her hands. She's looking for the foul as Bates, not going to get it. Voicing her displeasure at that lack of whistle a second ago as she makes her way back to defend. But she'll come up with the board as Holt comes up short on the finish in the lane. Timmons over traffic for Young. 10 for Hampton. Klimkowitz on the catch and shoot. Boy, nice feet ahead for Holt, but even more impressive despite the pressure from Bates. Klimkowitz keeping the focus on the ball, getting it done. Now Van Arsdale dribbling out of trouble. Bates can shoot from there, but she's going to drive around Holt and find Timmons up top. Timmons trying to wrap it around a lot of traffic, and Klimkowitz there for the steal. 3-on-1 for Hampton. Anaya Carpenter seeing some of her first minutes of the game for the Spiders. Gets it to Duggan along the baseline. Duggan a little short off the glass, and then kind of gets wrapped up underneath there with Jenkins. And they're going to hit Duggan with the foul as her falling on the floor. She's going to be whistled for the foul, I guess, for undercutting Jenkins as a result. That'll be her first. Third on the Spiders in this opening quarter with 1:07 to play. Jade Hines-Clark again struggling to get things going for Richmond. She quickly went to the bench with 2 fouls. Meanwhile, Van Arsdale off to a pretty good start here. She's got 4 along with Young also with 4. We didn't see a lot of the player who just entered the game and moved out of the direction that Van Arsdale wanted her to go in. That is Alyssa Sweeney, who had a pretty solid day on Thursday against Mount St. Mary's with 9 points on 3 of 5 from the outside, but yesterday only saw the last 6 minutes of the game against Old Dominion in the loss. Van Arsdale forcing Holt to the ground, and now a kickball called against the Spiders. Players just being separated there a little bit before any opportunity at a tie-up beyond just basketball. 26.9 to play in the quarter, a 10-6 lead for the Lady Pirates. Carmen Jackson also seeing her first action of the game for Hampton, being forced to go a little deeper in the bench than what we've seen through this tournament. Just trying to get as much production down the bench as possible, as right now they're fighting some injuries, are the Lady Pirates. As that one off the mark here with the right hand, and Holt has it blocked from just shy of midcourt there by Sweeney in transition. Into the first quarter. Start of the second quarter in Norfolk. Hampton with the basketball and a 10-6 lead on Richmond. Third and final day of the Ann Donovan Classic. Happy to be with you here on CUSA TV. 2-3 zone employed by the Spiders in blue. Out of the Atlantic 10, taking on the Lady Pirates out of the Big South. And the heart of the zone, Jenkins with the turnaround jumper. 12-6 Hampton. First quarter scoring, the Lady Pirates just 5 of 15 from the floor, but doing it all inside the arc. In terms of the scoring, as Jade Hines-Clark finds the scoring column. Keep in mind, she's got a couple of fouls for Richmond, as the Spiders now within 4. Hampton able to answer out of a little Richmond pressure. Jenkins again with the bucket, and it's now 14-8. Carpenter forces it in with a hard chest pass in for Parson. And Parson on the floor draws a foul. That's going to be Jenkins picking up her second. Or check that, it's her first. My mistake. Somebody can't read their own handwriting. Out to Duggan for the Spiders. Into the left corner. Parson for 3. A little strong, but into the hands of Klimkowicz, who will dribble it back out. Carpenter a little short on the pull-up. Rebound controlled by Jenkins for the Lady Pirates. Richmond, by the way, first half shooting just 2 for 12, including 0 for 6 from 3. Here's Michaela Timmons. Off to Ashley Bates, fakes the drive, instead hands it off for Sweeney, who's well off the mark from 3, and it's out of bounds to Richmond. Rebounding first quarter, even at 10 apiece. The Spiders with 2 more turnovers, 5, then Hampton with 3. Keep in mind, Lady Pirates with 4 of those 5 Richmond turnovers by way of Hampton steals. It's a team that comes in averaging about 12 steals a game. Parson, another crack at it from 3, no good from the wing. Duggan nearly saves it from going out of bounds, but a foot on the line to Hampton. Again, the full court pressure being employed by the Spiders. Sweeney able to break it on the pass forward from Young. Ten on the shot. Young from the top hands it off to Bates. Bates through a host of Spiders. Gets a little case of arachnophobia. And back comes Richmond. Little dribble drive and kick from Richmond on this possession, but Carpenter unable to convert from 3. And it'll be Hampton ball out of bounds. Good to see Kaylin Fee making her first appearance of the game. Keep in mind, she left the game last night in that 75-67 Richmond loss to Mount St. Mary's after getting clobbered on her way to the basket. Took a little while for her to get back up. She did not return in that game. So good to see her out here for the first time today. In the lane, Jenkins for 2. Came in averaging 7 points, 6 boards, 6 rebounds, leading Hampton. Hines-Clark answers for 2, and the foul. As now we can say Jenkins has a couple of personals for Hampton. Hines-Clark held to just 2 points Thursday against Old Dominion on 1 of 11. Went 3 for 5 from the floor yesterday, but just 6 points to show for it. And missing that free throw, that'll keep her at 4 thus far for the Spiders. 16-10 our score, 6:53 to go. Hampton with the lead in the basketball in this second quarter. Timmons left alone, and she makes Richmond pay. Timmons with their first points of the contest for Hampton. Hines Clark over to Klimkowitz, working in against Timmons, avoids the swipe, and contact made there by Timmons. While in the act of shooting, will send Klimkowitz to the line at 6:22. Oh no, it's going to be help defense here on Jones with the foul. Or check that, Young, my mistake. Nyla Young picking up her second. So trouble here for Hampton on the interior. That's 2 on Jenkins, 2 on Young. Those are the only 4 fouls committed by the Lady Pirates thus far, as Chakolis and Alexis Johnson will return for Hampton. Klimkowitz knocking down the first to make it 19-11 Lady Pirates. Klimkowitz who added 10.5 a game for Richmond through the first 2 contests of this Ann Donovan Classic. 1 for 2 on that trip to the line. Dribbling in is Chakolis. Through Johnson. Sweeney misfires from 3 as the Spiders able to answer in transition with the bucket. That's Amy Duggan. Rocking her way back in on the run. Just the 4th or 5th field goal made by Richmond thus far tonight. They're 5 of 19 from the field. Chakolis just a little too deep under the basket. So is Johnson as Chakolis double dribbles on the way back out. 19-13, Richmond trying to seep their way back in against Hampton, who's fighting some foul trouble from 2 of their post players. Carson up the right side along with Neff. Chapman back on for Richmond. Klimkowitz, and in the left corner, Fee just missing out from 3. Timmons the board, shakes off 3 different Richmond players and brings it up the right side. Into the right corner, Van Arsdale, a little strong from the outside. Klimkowitz the rebound. But overshooting the bounds there, Klimkowitz throws it out of play, but saved by a Van Arsdale deflection. Fida inbound from the baseline. Here's Parson. Bounces it inside. Turnaround jumper is good. That's Madeline Neff. One of her first touches today is a successful one as the Spiders are within 4. Chakolis nearly walked as it took her a little while on the run to get the possession there. Van Arsdale with a right-hand floater. With a hand in her face from Chapman, no good. Chakolis the save. Bates faking the 3. Now Timmons down the lane. Wrapping it around, unable to connect with Johnson off the Richmond deflection. And it'll be Hampton ball when we return. 14 on the shot for the Lady Pirates, who lead Richmond 19-15 midway through. Hampton 19, Richmond 15. 4:36 to go in the first half. Final day and game of the Ann Donovan Classic, already claimed in terms of wins and losses by Old Dominion, who swept the field of 4 with a 51-point victory earlier today over Mount St. Mary's. Free ball as time expires on the shot, no good for Michaela Timmons, and Chapman controls it for Richmond. Carson cross court, 3 on the way for Fee, is short, but she tries to track it down, saves it from going out of bounds, and gets right back into the thick of things. Parson has it slapped away by Johnson, recovers it, and the ball caroms off the hand of Bates. It is Fee down the lane. Chapman, turnaround shot, no good. But the rebound again works its way out as Neff will skip it across to Klimkowitz. Back inside, Richmond goes. Chapman travels with it. Tough day at the office shooting thus far for Aaron Roussell's Spiders. Out of the break, just 6 of 21 from the floor, including 0 for 10 from 3 is Richmond. Timmins and Van Arsdale working it across here for Hampton and White. Van Arsdale faking the 3. Out to Johnson from the foul line. And Chapman controls it for Richmond. Chapman's going to try the 3, and it just nips the front of the iron. Out of bounds. It goes to Hampton at 3:13. And timeout's going to be called by David Six of Hampton, who in his tenure, only one program in Virginia, the hoops. As Timmins will get it inside the floor to Van Arsdale, and Timmins will bring it up after that. Johnson, Chakolis, and Bates make up the remaining 5 for David Six and Hampton. Van Arsdale against the 2-3 zone from Richmond with Parson and Holt up top. Bates off the mark from 3 with 7 on the shot. Into the hands of Chakolis for the 20-second reset. Van Arsdale, oh so slippery on the dribble. Up top, Bates down the lane, able to finesse it in. Holt, Hines Clark, Parson, Duggan, and Klimkowitz, who has it on the left wing and will try the 3. Nothing but the bottom of the net. And with that, Richmond within a possession of Hampton, 21-18. Lady Pirates, unlike the Spiders, a little better from the floor thus far at 36%. But like Richmond, struggling to hit it from the outside, just 1 of 8. And to make that 1 of 9 as Van Arsdale comes up short. Nice rebound there on the floor from Hines Clark. First board of the game to go along with their 4 points as Parson rattles it home from the right elbow. Spiders feeling some momentum here. Aaron Roussell's team within a point of the Lady Pirates as we approach 90 seconds to go in the first half. Bates down the lane, unable to get it over Hines Clark, and here comes Klimkowitz ahead to Holt. Nice jump stop, unable to convert, but she has it all to herself for the putback, and that will put Richmond in front 22-21. Spiders feeling some momentum for the first time this evening. Turnaround jumper, Chakolis a little strong, but she follows it up. Comes up a little short on the conversion attempt. Off to the races on the long board. Parson a little ahead of Holt, but she caught it. And then has it slapped away and stolen by Timmins. The 2-on-1. Timmins threading the needle with Van Arsdale for 2. What a dish. And it's 23-22 Hampton. Hines Clark around Johnson and through. Back up 1, go the Spiders. Entertaining finish to this first half. I think Timmins on that last assist might have tweaked something there on one of her legs. We'll have to keep an eye on her coming out in the second half. Of course, Hampton not very deep here, cannot afford to have her out. Rattles it in and out, does Timmins from 3. And that brings us to the end of the first half. Richmond, after trailing for... Start of the second half here at Chartway Arena. Doug Ripley with you on CUSA TV as Hampton finds itself on the defensive, trailing Richmond with the basketball. 24-23, the Spiders lead. But the turnover will give it back to the Lady Pirates in white. Just 12 seconds into our third quarter. Similar to Richmond's game against Mount St. Mary's last night. Tight first half. Hampton led by as many as 9, but no further after kind of jumping out to a 20-11 lead, or check that 19-10, before some foul trouble by one of the players, including one of those who just scored a second ago in Charlisa Jenkins. That gives her 8 on the day. Kate Klimkowitz unable to convert on that left side runner, but Jade Hines-Clark again becoming more of a factor in this contest. Klimkowitz answers with the 3 left corner, and Hampton finds itself down by 2 as Richmond retakes the lead 27-25. Bates in the middle of the zone. Now Young back out to Bates. To Timmons, hand in her face, no problem. She rattles home the 3 to put Hampton back in front. Klimkowitz trying to answer with another 3. Just a little short. Rebound Jenkins. And Arsdale will settle for Hampton. Keep in mind, when it comes to the last 2 days worth of play, the Lady Pirates with 4 players averaging 30 minutes or more through the first couple of games. The Spiders, on the other hand, just 2. Klimkowitz with 30.5 and Claire Holt leading the way at 34.5 minutes of contest. So we'll see just how fit these two teams are in their third game as many days as Van Arsdale misses, but Jenkins follows and gets herself into double figures as Hampton takes a 3-point lead. Holt up top now. Swinging over is Chapman as Klimkowitz, running out of real estate, steps on the line. Thought she maybe had drawn a foul. 7:54 to go, third quarter, and Aaron Roussel, head coach of Richmond, seemed to think so as well. He continues this discussion with the official in charge of the call. Carla Fountain not hearing any of it there. Carla Roberts and Edward Matthews making up the rest of this crew. Tie-up ensues in the heart of the lane, and the arrow will keep it with Hampton. Bates kind of beating herself up a little bit that it came to that point in the possession. Up top it goes from Timmons to Van Arsdale. Van Arsdale with a little daylight. Finds Timmons, 3-ball right wing. Yes! A place she called home for 3 years when playing at Old Dominion. She's starting to recapture that touch from the outside, but then she runs into a brick wall in Hines-Clark. As the 3 no good from Holt, Hines-Clark gets the board and finds Klimkowitz for the tray. Just like that, Richmond cutting that Hampton lead in half, 33-30. While Timmons stays on for Hampton, she has taken it on the chin thus far. A couple of moments in this game. Another 3 on the way for Timmons, though, and it's a bit strong. She thought she might have had it there. Able to poke the ball loose. It looked like Parson was trying to run away with it, but instead it's a Van Arsdale pull-up jumper. Work between Timmons and Bates to be able to force that ball free. It looked like Parson was trying to start the break for the Spiders. Instead, it's a 35-30 Hampton lead. Hines-Clark blocked from behind. That's Young with the stuff. Sweeney's going to come back on as Bates will sit. Timmons is also going to take a seat, and again, she doesn't look to be 100% right now for the Lady Pirates. Looking down all the way toward the bench, which is uncharacteristic for Michaela Timmons. Nice rebound and put back from Duggan. Off the miss from Holt, and it's now 35-32 Hampton. By the way, I'm looking at Timmons on the off of the distance here. They have the chairs behind the basket that Hampton's attacking toward pulled in today because they had a bounce house when Old Dominion played Mount St. Mary's. Van Arsdale Wise move of dropping her head at the last second because Hines Clark with like a 1970s NFL style clothesline waiting for her there a second ago as she was going after the ball. Just as she was releasing it to the left wing. That three no good from Young, and the tie-up giving it to Richmond, who now attacks the other way, down 3. Hines Clark is some kind of physical there for the Spiders. Maybe the most athletic frame of anybody in this field. 3 ball good to tie it at 35 for Holt. She had 17 yesterday. That gives her 5 thus far against Hampton. Almost midway through the third. Chacolas down the lane draws the foul, and that'll be the third on Hines Clark. Delayla Chacolas, the 5'7" freshman from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Just under 5.5 rebounds a game, in addition to 3 points a contest, as Hines Clark and Parson will sit for Richmond. Chacolas 4 points against Old Dominion yesterday, set a new career high in rebounds in Thursday's win over Mount St. Mary's with 12 to go along with 5 points. She goes 2 for 2 at the stripe, her first 2 points of the night. And back in front go the Lady Pirates, 37-35. Duggan trying to get it inside to Chapman, who's back on for the Spiders. Now Klimkowitz trying to spin her way in, does so, but into a tie-up, and the arrow will give it back to Hampton. Just did not see Nyla Young coming in with the help defense. Van Arsdale to bring it across. Up top, Young for 3. Yes! Now 40-35, Hampton. Young with 7. She's 1 for 2 from the outside. Holt fakes the shot and finds Duggan for the hoop and the harm. She'll go to the line when we return. 4:40 to go in the third. And Richmond back within a basket of Hampton, 40-37 on this last game of the 2019 Ann Donovan Classic.
And
for both
Monarch football fans, these are
the basket. Pretty good shooting here to start the second. Hampton 6 of 9 from the floor, 3 for 5 from 3 in this third quarter. Meanwhile, Richmond 5 out of 10 from the field, 3 for 6 as well from the outside. As Duggan missing the three-point play opportunity, but Chapman there for the board. Gets it back out to Carpenter. Another opportunity here for Richmond, except one of the clock operators didn't come back from the break quite in time. The shot clock resets to 17. Or check that, 16 with 4:36 to go in this third quarter. Back to play come the Spiders in blue. Nice jump stop from Holt. Finally gets daylight, and she converts off the window. And with that, the Spiders with 4 on a singular possession. Good to see Michaela Timmons back on after some added treatment back in the tunnel for Hampton. She's at the point now, joined to the floor by Young, Bates, Jenkins, and Van Arsdale. Bates able to sneak it in as the net ties up the basketball, and we are stuck on the floor here. Might be a little while before play resumes. It looks like a pretty decent little knot in that net. Oh, there we go. The knot broken by Old Dominion's facility staff. We are back to basketball. By the way, props to Rick French, Drew Jacobs, and the rest of the Old Dominion facilities folks for a job very well done here in this Ann Donovan Classic, including the folks across the way at the scores table. Richmond with the ball, down 3. Oh, man. Jenkins run over there. But the fact that Chapman had to run over her, she couldn't hang on to the basketball. Meanwhile, Timmons unable to convert on the other end. Taking a long look at the official, thinking maybe she was fouled. On the other end, Holt turns it over with a walk at 3:39. It'll be a baseline inbound and a fresh shot clock for the Lady Pirates, who lead by 3. Leading scorer right now for Hampton is Jenkins with 10. A lob up top to Young, down the lane, unable to convert with the runner. The rebound, Chapman, but she telegraphs the outlet and it's stolen. Van Arsdale, pull-up jumper off the steal, no good. And Parson away with it for Richmond. Klimkowicz leading all scores for the Spiders. She's got 12, and she has it on the right wing right now. Into Duggan, turnaround jumper a bit strong from close range. And Young controls the board for Hampton. Bates down the lane, fouled on the way up, and will shoot a couple of free throws. That'll be Chapman picking up the foul, her first. Just 2 team fouls on the Spiders thus far in this third quarter. Just 1 against Hampton, who as a team has only committed 5 fouls, but 3 of them have been charged to Jenkins, 2 to Young. As Bates converts the free throw. 7 for Bates. All 5 starters for Hampton, 7 points or more thus far. As Bates now gets to 8. 44-39, Lady Pirates in front, but not by much. Their largest lead was 9 at 19-10. Neff thought about shooting up top. Nearly traveled as she releases it to Parson. Now Parson in trouble. One of the better defensive players in the Big South Conference and on this side of the water. Lauren Van Arsdale nearly forcing another steal. Keep in mind, she came in with 16 steals on the year. Averaged 2 steals a game a season ago, en route to being named the Virginia SID and Big South Conference Rookie of the Year in both. Duggan running out of time and loses the basketball. Time winding down, and play will continue as Jenkins rips it away from Duggan on the floor for Hampton. And a good no call there by the officials because Jenkins did control it before the clock struck 0 on the shot. High block right side for Bates. Down the lane she goes. That kicked out of play by Duggan as the shot clock will reset to 20. And the Lady Pirates will inbound from the baseline at 2:10 remaining in the third. Both these teams have managed the third quarter well, which did not work out for either yesterday here in this Ann Donovan Classic. You'll recall Richmond was down a point at the break to Mount St. Mary's, and after a couple of Holt free throws, the Mount went on a 10-0 run the next 99 seconds. As Timmons, beautiful head fake, but unable to convert from close range. Duggan the board. Meanwhile, Old Dominion turned up the pressure on Hampton after taking a 31-17 halftime lead as Richmond turns it over. They scored the game's first 19 points of the second half in 3 minutes and 50 seconds to blow out eventually Hampton by a score of 75-38. The Lady Pirates 3-5 entering this game against Richmond, who is 6-6 and who had come to Norfolk having played one of the nation's tougher non-conference schedules. In fact, the RPI report entering the Ann Donovan Classic had Richmond at 46 in the RPI and 26 in terms of strength of schedule. As Chacolis on the board, able to convert to make it 46-39, Lady Pirates. She's got 4. Neff hits the 3 for the Richmond Spiders, and they're back within 4. But the Spiders, despite their high marks coming in, yet to claim a victory here at Chartway Arena, trying to reverse that as they try to work their way as well out of a deficit to Hampton. Van Arsdale, a little strong from 3. Young the board, and the follow gets the roll. Well, maybe that'd be a little too strong off the glass, but she had the right spin. And she's also able to poke it out of bounds into the hands of Kaylin Fee. 47.3 to go in the quarter. It's 48-42 Hampton. As Holt will return for Fee, Duggan will also take a seat for the Spiders. And Parson and Hines Clark are back on. Here's Parson from the right wing. Klimkowicz, long three on the way. No good. Neff unable to convert on the follow with the reverse. Pirates with about 2 seconds difference between shot clock and game clock. Going back to work offensively, leading by 6. Ed Arsdale trading passes with Chacolas a few times. And they'll keep going back and forth. To Bates. Pull up. More of a step back there, but it's short. Hines Clark the board. 2 seconds. Parson from midcourt. Nearly banks it home, but it's just off the mark. Fourth quarter coming up in a bit. Hampton with our Monarch Media crew on CUSA TV. Thanks to Paul Boise, Tina Price, and the rest of the gang. And we got a foul right off the inbound. Just 1 second in. All it took for Alex Parson to pick up the foul for Richmond. And it must have been something rocky, because I think they're going to take a look at the replay, or they're talking over something here at the bench. Just trying to make sense of what exactly transpired. Some kind of a warning here. Timmons to bring it across, along with Young, Jenkins, Chacolas, and Van Arsdale for Hampton, who leads 48-42 early in this fourth quarter. Taking the shot as Timmons into Jenkins, who travels with it up and down, trying to score. She was tied up initially, but had the ball in her hand just before getting back down on her own 2 feet. Richmond with Parson, Hines Clark, Neff, Klimkowicz, and Holt on the floor in blue. Hines Clark doing a nice job of poking it back into the hands of one of her teammates, Neff. Parson down the lane. Wide open is Holt. Nothing but net. And Richmond, just like that, cuts the Hampton lead in half. Van Arsdale and Timmons bringing it across, as they have done a few times in this classic. Young for 3. Yes! Lady Pirates answer a 3 with one of their own, as Young, with that basket, moves into double figures with 12 to lead the Lady Pirates. Klimkowicz driving past Timmons to the bucket. No good. But last touch by Hampton underneath. Both teams in the upper 30s shooting wise. Hampton 39%. Richmond 38%. They're in the 20s from 3-point range. Lady Pirates 5 of 17. Spiders 6 of 22. Richmond struggling at the free throw line at 3 for 6. Hampton has hit all 4 of their attempts. Another 3 from the Spiders. This time it's Anaya Carpenter. 5'8" sophomore from Baltimore, Maryland. Now sets up the 2-2-1 zone press for Richmond. 51-48. Van Arsdale breaking the press, but through the hands of Jenkins, it slips out of bounds to Richmond at 8:20. Hampton might be sleeping here defensively on the mistake. Hines Clark unable to make him pay for now, but she's able to tap it back to Carpenter to reset. Boy, that's a heck of a play to recover there by Jade Hines Clark. Third team All-Atlantic 10 a year ago. Doubled up, but she overshoots the pass for Holt, and Klimkowicz is just going to have to shield it out of bounds. I like the decision there by Klimkowicz to not pick it up, instead just let it go. Maybe somebody from Hampton in that instance goes after the loose ball. That didn't happen, though. as Timmins will get it back into play for Van Arsdale. Hampton leading 51-48 inside 8 minutes to go. Into Bates. Bates playing inside a little more than what we saw in the first half. Unable to convert past Hines Clark. Jenkins unable to get the follow, and Bates is fouled on the way back up on the third Hampton opportunity. And that one on Klimkowitz will be just her first. Neither team really in danger and foul trouble except for Hampton's interior players. Jenkins with 3 and Young not too far behind with 2. Bates unable to get the roll in the first. Leading scorer for Hampton at the moment, 14.4 a game in terms of the season. Leads the Lady Pirates in field goal shooting at 49% and three-point shooting at 40% as she converts on the second, 52-48. Duggan back on for Richmond, replacing Neff. She'll take a seat for now. Full court press and a man-to-man variety being employed by Hampton. Holt's going to bring it across against Van Arsdale. Hines Clark working in against Jenkins in the left corner. Carpenter started the dribble just in time. After trading passes with Hines Clark, Carpenter from 3. And the Spiders are within 1. Two-three zone being employed by Richmond. Nearly the 5 count for Young as Van Arsdale accepts the handoff but is unable to convert on the left side drive. Richmond with a chance to take the lead here. Their last lead coming in the third quarter. Pretty early, opening seconds of the third. Baseline inbound coming up for the Spiders. 23 on the shot. Into Hines Clark trying to power her way in. Just losing the handle of it on the way up. Jenkins getting the board with that defensive pressure from Hampton. 6.5 to play in regulation. Lady Pirates by 1. Bates down the lane. Layup good. Kind of stunned Hines Clark on her way in, but keep in mind, Hines Clark nursing those 3 fouls, trying not to pick up her 4th. As Carpenter unable to convert on the other end with the floater. And Jenkins off the board is found from behind by Klimkowitz, who picks up her second at 6:15. That will allow Richmond to set up the 2-2-1 zone. Hampton taking a little time to get it back in. Bates handles the inbound. Now Young has it across the timeline. Gets it to the point guard, Van Arsdale. Check that, it's Timmins at the point at the moment for HU. Nice pass in from Timmins to Bates, and again, playing big girl ball down low, unable to convert, but she gets the board and is able to scrounge her way despite falling back for the follow. Ashley Bates, some critical points here on the last 2 possessions for Hampton, who leads 56-51. And that one turned over to the Lady Pirates with 5:35 to go. $18 turnovers now for Richmond, just 6 all game for Hampton. Easily the best performance in terms of basketball value that we've seen from a team in this classic. Turnovers have been an issue for all 4 teams this week in Norfolk. Bates, after faking the shot, is fouled on the way up near the block. And she'll go back to the line with 5:17 to go. Ashley Bates with her interior play really causing Richmond some problems the last few possessions as Klimkowitz quickly into foul trouble. That's her 3rd as she and Hines Clark both have that many fouls for Richmond. Speaking of Hines Clark, she's going to sit as Chapman comes on for her. Amy Duggan is also back on for the Spiders as Bates hits the first. Of those 6 turnovers for Hampton, just 2 in the second half. Richmond, on the other hand, with 11. But it's just a 7-point game as Bates goes 2 for 2 at the line. That gives her 15. 1 of 3 in double figures for the Lady Pirates. The 11 of her 15 points for Bates, by the way, coming in the second half. As that push from behind by the trailer, Michaela Timmons. That'll be her first as we go to break. Timmons, the first Lady Pirate guard to pick up a foul in this game, and we only have 4:58 to go. How is that for foul control for David Six and the Hampton Lady? Way closer to winning time. Here is Hampton and Richmond. A couple of teams separated by an interstate at about 100 miles. Wrap up this Ann Donovan Classic, already claimed by Old Dominion, who went 3-0 for the event in the round robin. 10 on the shot clock for the Spiders in blue as Holt turns it over. Young with the steal ahead. Van Arsdale unable to get the roll around the rim. Big miss for Hampton, who leads 58-51 as we approach 4.5 minutes to go. Scoop shot around Young is no good from Holt. And Young controls the board and leads Timmons perfectly into open space for the Lady Pirates. Michaela Timmons, graduate of Old Dominion before transferring to Hampton. As Bates connects on the high-low with Jenkins. Big basket for Hampton, who leads by 9, tying their largest lead of the game as Van Arsdale picks up the reach on Parson with 4:06 to go. For Lauren Van Arsdale, the sophomore out of Powder Springs, Georgia, who's been pretty doggone good at the point at 5'3" in her time with Hampton. That's just her first. Lady Pirates just 2 team fouls. Richmond with 4, the next one putting Hampton in the bonus the rest of the way. Parson, Duggan, Klimkowitz, Hines-Clark, and Holt on the floor for Richmond. Little inside-outside from Hines-Clark, and Parson misfiring from 3. Jenkins pulls down the board. She's joined on the floor by Van Arsdale, Timmons, who has it at midcourt, Bates, who has played a big key down low offensively for the Lady Pirates this half, and Young, whose pass is tapped out of play, last touched by the Spiders at 16 on the shot, although it was reset to 20. I'm not sure any of the officials picked up on the reset. It should be 16. And there it is. So it's back to 16, 3:39 to go. The lob up top to Van Arsdale. Waits for Timmons to come up to accept the pass. Now 9 on the shot for Hampton. Young down the lane. The skies open at just the right time for Nyla Young. And Hampton, for the first time this evening, leads by double digits. Critical possession here for the Spiders. Holt answers with a tray. Timeout, Richmond. And we will step aside as well with 3:15 to play. Hampton with a 62-54 lead, facing full court pressure from Richmond. The inbounds goes to Ashley Bates, who will bring it up the floor for the Lady Pirates in white. Thank you for sticking around with us here on CUSA TV. We hope you've enjoyed the last 3 days' coverage, part of this Monarch Media crew. Down the lane, here's Bates, caught in a trap here from Klimkowitz, just one-on-one. And a foul? No, a timeout away from the ball. David Six from his seat voices the timeout for the Lady Pirates with 2:56 to play. They have 2 30-second timeouts remaining. Meanwhile, which currently stands 62-54, the turnover disparity. Currently 19 turnovers for the Spiders, just 6 for the Lady Pirates. Inbounds goes to Van Arsdale, and we're back to basketball. Just 8 on the shot for Hampton. Right-hand floater, too strong, but it draws iron. Rebound Klimkowitz for Richmond. Wanted to throw the outlet to Holt, but she was marked off ball by Van Arsdale. Hines-Clark with it. Skips it across for Carpenter. Duggan now has it up top. Every Spider has touched the ball as possession. Klimkowitz with a big step back. Misses the 3 and a push underneath. Looked like it's going to go against Jenkins. And that's her fourth. She was a little bit miffed by that call. Indeed the case, though. That is her fourth. Baseline inbound coming up for Carpenter on the 22nd reset. 2:24 to play for Richmond. They're down 8. Holt runs into Jenkins, lost it, but it threw it right back into her hands, and she's fouled on the way up. And again, that's Jenkins who will foul out of the game with 2:18 to play. Second straight game that Charlisa Jenkins is fouled out after a couple of 8.6 rebound performances against Mount St. Mary's and Old Dominion. She will leave with a double-double today, 12 points, 13 boards, which ties a career high in rebounding for the redshirt senior out of St. Petersburg, Florida. But she checks out at the 2:18 mark as Holt converts on the first free throw for Richmond. Now 15 for Holt following 17 in the loss to Mount St. Mary's last night. And she makes the second as well. 62-56. Hampton with the ball up 2 scores as they quickly work off the Hampton press set after the make. Bates off of Hines Clark, doesn't get the whistle or the basket. Here comes Richmond with a 3-on-1. Timmons with the quick hands, able to get the steal. Ahead to Bates for the basket. Big steal and the dish from Michaela Timmons to set up Bates for 2. Remember that moment in this game down the stretch. 64-56. Lady Pirates. Turnaround jumper, good from Duggan. Amy Duggan continues her solid and Donovan classic. That gives her 10 today on 5 out of 8 from the field. And again, looks like Michaela Timmons is a bit hobbled up at the moment. She's trying to work her way through the pain. She didn't want to go out. She's rubbing her own leg there just to try to shake free what hopefully is nothing more than just a Charlie horse. 64-58. She will stay on, Will Timmons, and she accepts the inbound from Van Arsdale to bring it across. Final 90 seconds of regulation. Hampton by 6. Van Arsdale down the lane. Again, Hampton spreading defensively and unable to collapse. As Van Arsdale with another big bucket for Hampton. Beautiful touch pass in, the other end from Carpenter. Hines Clark out to Klimkowicz. Down the lane is Holt. Didn't have a shot though. Now it's Carpenter with it. Right side, Hines Clark against Young. The reverse is good. And Richmond gets within 6. 1 more minute to go. Aaron Roussel wants the clock to stop, but not the case because the basket was scored outside a minute to go. Van Arsdale's going to try to kill as much more of this clock that she can for Hampton. It'll be a reach-in foul on Holt with 39.9 to play. Again, scores table across the way did get that one right. Roussel not happy at all with that continuance, but again, the basket was scored just before the 1 minute mark. The foul against Holt is her first, and Van Arsdale and Hampton in the bonus. She'll shoot a couple of free throws. 39.9 to play. Now they are within 2 minutes to go. I guess the officials could take a look at the replay if they wanted to, just to see if that was indeed scored before the 1 minute mark. I don't know if that's been brought up in conversation just yet. Again, I'm just taking a guess on that. Don't take my inference as the law here by any stretch. Things stay the way they are. And Van Arsdale goes back to the line for a couple of free throws for Hampton. First one is short. She's got 10 points today. This is her first trip to the line. Just the second miss thus far for the Lady Pirates from the stripe. They're 7 of 9. And she hits the second. And that one a biggie because it stretches the Hampton lead back to 3 possessions. 67-60. Richmond with the ball down 7. 39.9 to go. And a full court man-to-man being employed by the Hampton Lady Pirates. Carpenter off the inbound will bring it across. Marked by Timmons in the man-to-man. Neff between the circles. Into Hines Clark. The layup short. Rebound Young, and she's fouled with 22.5 to go. A chance for Hampton to put this one on ice and potentially head back across the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel with a pair of wins in this Ann Donovan Classic after coming to Norfolk on a 4-game losing streak. David Six, the head coach of the Lady Pirates in his 11th year, eyeing his 218th career head coaching win at the college level. First free throw good from Young. She has 15. A new career high for the freshman from Kings Fork High School in Suffolk, Virginia. Misses the second. The rebound controlled by Neff. 4 in double figures, by the way, for Hampton today as Van Arsdale commits the foul, her second. That one putting both teams over the limit on team fouls. It'll be 2 shots. Officials just picking up on that aspect. So 2 shots coming up for Holt and the Richmond Spiders as Duggan will replace Neff, joining Hines Clark, Klimkowitz, Carpenter, and Holt at the line. Carpenter's going to sit as well as Parson will come back on for the Spiders. Holt knocking down the first. A productive Ann Donovan Classic for Claire Holt, the 5'7" sophomore from Hoover, Alabama. After just 3 points against Old Dominion, 17 yesterday against Mount St. Mary's, and 17 again today against Hampton. As the Lady Pirates are going to turn it over on the walk by Chakolis, just trying to stay in bounds off the catch. Off the wayward inbound. 68-62. And Aaron Roussel will draw up a play with 17.9 to go for his Richmond Spiders. It's a 30-second timeout. As we mentioned, 4 in double figures thus far for Hampton. 17 for Ashley Bates, her 3rd double-figure scoring performance of the tournament. Meanwhile, Richmond with 3 in double figures, led by Holt with 17, as Hines Clark handles the inbound. Switches floors to Holt. Question is, was she in the act of shooting? If so, that could be a 3-shot foul. Officials are going to talk it over real quick with 14.7 to go. Looks like the officials might even take a look at the replay just to see it. 68-62, and what a critical moment this has become. A pair of 30s. Holt is a 73% free throw shooter coming in. Makes quick work of the first. Gets the roll in the second. Three for 3, and it's a 3-point game. Hampton 68, Richmond 65. Van Arsdale on the quick inbound from Bates is fouled from behind by Klimkowitz with 11.7 to go, and she'll head back to the line for shots. Klimkowitz, with all of her fouls coming in the 4th quarter, picks up her 4th. And it'll stay 1 possession for now, with 1 more free throw coming up for Lauren Van Arsdale. Came into today 80% on 24 of 30 at the line. Just 1 of 3 thus far in this 4th quarter. But she goes 2 for 4 to make it a 2-possession game. Richmond calls timeout to advance the ball. 11.7 to go. We'll keep it here on the road in Philly on January the 4th. Meanwhile, Hampton, now in the Big South Conference after a long run in the MEAC, will take a week off before returning to play at Winthrop in Rock Hill, South Carolina, as they start Big South competition 1 week from today. But first, trying to take care of business against Richmond are the Lady Pirates in white. Parson with 8 seconds to go. Under the basket she goes. Out to Klimkowitz for 3. Too strong. Duggins follow. Too strong off the window. Young the board, and that'll do it. Richmond will head back across the water with not 1 but 2 victories in this Ann Donovan Classic. While Richmond will head back